Nigerian political atmosphere is heated up owing to the fact that political parties are gearing up towards 2027 general election. From the ruling All Progressive Congress to the People's Democratic Party and now the emergence of a coalition party that has been collapsed into the Alliance for Democratic Congress, otherwise known as the ADC, with the conglomeration of the likes of the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and the likes of Nasiru El-Rufai, former Senate President David Mark, and so on. But that's not the issue. The issue at hand now is the proposed bill for a special seat for women in the National Assembly as well as state houses of assemblies across the various states of the Federation. Hello dear, it's a pleasure once again to have you join us on Political Affairs on Kama TV. My name is Chris Jacobs, and today I'll be speaking with Honorable Helexia Fakuta Naiwa. She is a politician and a woman activist, and she joins me now to further this conversation, thereby clarifying the reason behind the proposed bill to reserve special seat for women, not just in the National Assembly, but of course across state houses of assembly in Nigeria. Hello dear, it's a pleasure to have you on Political Affairs again.
Thank you for having me.
Now, before I ask you, what prompted that decision, to take on this movement for the proposal of special seat for women in Nigeria, talking about women in politics right there. Talk to me about what you have seen or what you've envisaged as regard to 2027 general election, because it seems Nigerians do not even have 2026 on their calendar. Everybody's just talking about 2027.
Well, as you know, political space in Nigeria it has not been easy, and with the current situation that is going on, people are preparing. In fact, even the ruling government, the ones in office, they are preparing towards 2027. But then this issue come up of the inclusion bill, the reserve seat for women bill. You know, in the 9th Assembly, these bills were sent to the 9th Assembly. You remember 5 bills that were for women, and all didn't see the light of the day. But thank God for the 10th Assembly this time around, it have even reached public hearing. It means there's hope for women.
So is that the reason why, this decision to vie or to kind of propose this bill, could it be predicated on the fact that the 9th Assembly couldn't really, adhere to, the demand of Nigerian women?
First of all, I want to say something about the reserve seat for women bill. The reason for the bill is not just to say, give women this for free. No. The reason for the bill is to accelerate inclusion. Look at the Nigerian politics today. Women are 50% of the population. They are 50% of the voters. But only few of them have opportunity. Imagine less than 5% at the National Assembly.
About 4% at the National Assembly.
Fine.
Yeah.
About 4% at the National Assembly. It means the voice and the perspective of the 50% of the population are silent in our government affairs. So we said, let's propose for this reserve seat for women bill, where some specific seats, like Senate, will be given for each state, that it will be specifically for women. But the conventional office that they will be contesting, women can contest too. But that one will be specifically for women to accelerate inclusion. And it's a temporary measure, because based on the bill, this proposal is for 16 years. It means 4 political seasons. Let's test it and see that when we accelerate this inclusion, that this certain population of women are now in the space. Let's see how the result will come out.
But as you speak now, somebody will say, what happened to the 35 affirmative action? Isn't that, what has it been realized? Talking about the 35 affirmative action for women, has that been realized? And if it was, or it has been realized, wasn't that enough for the Nigerian women?
if the affirmative action has been realized practically in our political system, we will not be here talking about reserved seat for women bill.
But what makes you think that it can be, the reserved seat bill can be achieved, or it can come to limelight due to the fact that even the 35 affirmative action, as you said, has not been realized?
We are making progress already. Remember, at the 9th Assembly, it haven't reached the time, the level of public hearing. But now it has reached this level of public hearing. So it means there is hope. And we believe that today, the 9th Assembly, this is an opportunity for them to write their name in a good book in the history of this country. That we once had a 10th Assembly that is pro-women, pro-democracy, and pro-development. That we have a 10th Assembly that are ready to accelerate inclusion in the political history of Nigeria. So this is an opportunity for them too to write their name in the book of history, great book of history of the nation. And we believe as this thing is going on, we have been receiving support from our lawmakers, from our stakeholders, from all the people, though enlightenment is still going on. Because I attended the public hearing. So many NGOs, civil societies are involved, but we still want the people at the grassroots to understand what all the bill and the is all about. Because and the hearing is not just about inclusion bill. We have different hearing. It's amendment of the 1999 Constitution. So our people need to understand and get involved in the whole process too.
But could that have been possible without the support of the First Lady of Nigeria, talking about Senator Remi Tinubu? Because I was following it, and she threw her weight, behind Nigerian women, perhaps maybe because she's the woman, and of course the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But some will also attribute it to the fact that the feud between the Senate President Godswill Akpabio and Senator Natasha could have prompted, ignited this movement, because I see it as a movement, But would you say it's as a result of, Senator Natasha and Senate President Akpabio feud that, infuriated the Nigerian women in politics, to have take on this very movement?
You see, reserved seat for women bill is beyond individual issue. This is a constitutional amendment. We are fighting for the voices of the 50% of Nigerian population to be heard. We are saying that we need the half of the population, their perspective into government. It's beyond just Senate President, it's beyond Senator Natasha alone. If the First Lady is coming out to back us, it means that it's a serious matter. This thing has been in the space for long. Women has been struggling to get involved. See the world standard. Imagine look at countries that even have 60% population of their parliament are women. The world is going forward. Nigeria being the largest black nation in the world, we call ourselves giant of Africa. Yet, women's voices are not heard. There are only few in the political space. So we want that inclusion. If other nations that are not even have, their democracy is not as old as our own, have accelerated their inclusion, their governance is going, the democracy involve everybody. What of Nigeria? That's why we say let's bring this out for inclusion. So this issue is a large issue that contains Nigeria itself, not just an individual.
Well, you've been at the National Assembly, of course, to present this bill alongside your fellow women who have, such interests at heart, likes-minded. But could that have been possible, talking about the absorption of this bill and the upholding of it, without a contribution and, assimilation of men into the movement? How has the support been from the men, talking about senators who are occupying those exalted seats?
Reserve seat for women bill is not just women project, it's Nigerian project. And the Nigerian project means every Nigerian is involved. This needs all Nigerians to put hand on the desk and make sure that it come to pass. Because the country is losing. Half of its perspective is hidden. Imagine if women are also involved at the national level, making our laws, our amendment, checking everything, getting involved in the development. Imagine if women are in the perspective, fighting for children education. Imagine if women are in the National Assembly too, talking about maternal mortality. So there are so many of these that women have to be there to, it need them. So this is not just about we are fighting for women, but when it comes to light, the benefit is for the whole Nigeria.
So I was asking you whether or not the male folks on, in the National Assembly has thrown their weight also on this movement for the reservation of seats for women.
Men are supporting. And remember, our lawmakers, most of them are men, our stakeholders are men, because this issue is not just about women, it's about development, it's about inclusion, it's about collective responsibility for the whole nation. So nobody is left behind for this.
All right, nobody's left behind. This is a good way to take a pause so that we can catch our breath. All right, you're watching Political Affairs on Kayama TV. We'll take a short break now. We'll be back in a moment. Join us again.